An element of systemic change is also advocacy. And the Ladies of Charity of the USA talk about advocacy in the following way. They say that it gives the person the opportunity to tell her story to us, helping us understand her situation. It is the structuring of services so that they protect human dignity. It is educating ourselves and others about the challenges facing the least, the lost, and the left out in society. It is gathering data that can be used by policymakers. It is using our voice and our votes in the public square to help people living in poverty to achieve basic social, economic, and political rights. It is also convening policymakers, legislators, and people living in poverty to enable and empower poor people to participate and to build better communities. A number of the members of the Vincentian family are members of the Interfaith Center on Corporate Responsibility, the ICCR. This involves 275 faith-based institutional investors, associates, and affiliates that have $1 trillion under investment. They view corporate responsibility as a way of addressing justice issues at a systemic level. They press companies to be socially and environmentally responsible. We all know that companies talk frequently about the bottom line, and the bottom line always indicates how do we maximize profits. But ICCR talks about the triple bottom line. They are looking for a proper return on investment, but they also want to call corporations to social accountability and to environmentally sound practices. Throughout the years, ICCR has been in the headlines many times. A few examples of that are, how much water do you really use? ICCR supports new water conservation tool. ICCR investors support Senate efforts to eliminate child and forced labor in agriculture. Coca-Cola releases HIV/AIDS report in response to ICCR resolution. ICCR investors open campaigns to press drug companies to disclose political spending are only a few. Some of the magazines have articles on ICCR include EcoAid, the Business Review, the Huffington Post, the Market Match, and the Investment Management Institute Journal. These are all prestigious journals who have been impacted by the work of ICCR. In Canada, the Maritime Project is another advocacy project on behalf of women and children, especially in the areas of housing and social assistance, and to foster collaboration and growth and unity among the 4 congregations of the Sisters of Charity Federation in Canada. It is a collaborative effort in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. It was designed to influence the provincial poverty reduction plan of these 2 provinces. The members of the congregations on the committee contacted the premier of each province, attended information meetings, and were vocal about the needs of those living in poverty, as those needs were expressed to them by those living in poverty themselves. Focused and consistent advocacy resulted in heating subsidies being widely publicized and easily accessible. They also networked with other institutions. Nova Scotia and New Brunswick had a showing of the movie Make Poverty History. They had a session at Tatamagouche and at public rallies in both St. John and Moncton. They networked with Community Action on Homelessness, the Norwood Housing Association, Supportive Housing for Young Mothers. The 4 members of the Federation in Canada in Moncton, New Brunswick, Halifax, and Antigonish also collaborated in New Brunswick with the Justice and Solidarity Committee of the Moncton Dioceses, with the Common Front for Social Justice, with St. John Nonprofit Housing, and with Vibrant Communities and Business Community Anti-Poverty Initiative. Systemic change begins with defining a need, building awareness, and enlisting and empowering an organized, multifaceted response. In the Vincentian tradition, the Ladies of Charity tell us, relationship with people in poverty is our first and primary goal. We need to see with their eyes. We must view the world from the vantage point of the people we seek to help. We must enter the struggles, feel their pain, and understand the barricades that hinder their full participation in the community. We must work with poor persons, allowing them to articulate their needs, concerns, and potential solutions. We must work with them so as they are the primary stakeholders in order to advance toward a more just society. The Ladies of Charity in St. Louis are engaged with the Let's Start program, an organization dedicated to assisting women in transition from prison life to society and in supporting their families. They offer a variety of services dependent on the needs of participants. Some are direct aid. Others are services which enable people to move into jobs. They are committed to community education and advocacy.